This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 7 through 9. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on you, brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, 144,000, shalom, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom unto you. Mr. Brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and as the scriptures say, this place known as Babylon, which is spiritually in Jeremiah the 51st chapter, Revelation the 18th chapter, if you have the spiritual eyes to see so, is speaking prophetically about America. All right, this is a future prophecy that we're living in right now, and we are about to see play out here in these last days, which is Babylon, a great America, is suddenly falling. All right, it isn't fully destroyed yet, but it's falling, systematically. It's falling morally, religiously, financially, on all levels. This place, Babylon, the great America, is falling, and it's eventually about to be destroyed. And one of the ways we can see that this place is falling is economically. You see the condition of the dollar. You see how bad the inflation is, the ridiculous, cost of living that it takes for you to, basically live here in America now is getting ridiculously out of hand and more expensive by the month, because it's not the fact that the price of these things are increasing or the quality of it is getting better. It is the fact that the dollar is decreasing in its buying power, and is having tremendous effects on every, sector of this society, man. You got the rich getting richer, and you got the middle class, and the poor are getting poorer and poorer, to where even the middle class is starting to feel the financial strains of all of this inflation and the higher cost of living, the higher cost of food, gas, everything in this society is getting more and more expensive, and it's causing people to, to deplete their savings, the income and the money that they make is not keeping up with the rate of inflation. So people are struggling, and things are getting harder and harder. All right. And eventually, as they're propping up this financial system with all of this debt, and they're creating more debt by the day, by the month, by the year, it's causing the collapse of this financial system, which we know these elites want to do away with it anyway to bring in this new digital system. But we see the results of them propping up this Federal Reserve note, this fractional reserve banking type of financial system. And hey, and the bubble is getting ready to pop. All of this money printing, all of this trillions of dollars are just printing and spending is eventually gonna collapse and cave in, and it's gonna leave a lot of people here, having to face their worst reality, which is a completely broken financial system. And we see it happening more and more every day. And this article is a good indicator, showing you just how bad and just how, broken this financial system is, man. All right, so I'm gonna read some of this article, drop a couple of precepts, Lord willing, you can be edified. You see, and this is why our people, you Jakes, man, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, your mind frame and your trust and your faith definitely better be out of America, because this place is not gonna save you. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This place is on its way out of here. All right. And you need to be focusing on the kingdom and the kingdom to come. You need to be focusing on Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, our Lord and Savior, coming back and delivering us out of this sinking ship known as America, because it's sinking, and it's sinking fast, and it's not going to be healed. All right. There's no financial situation or strategy or, remedy that anybody can do to save Babylon the Great. All right. Donald Trump is not going to make America great again. All right. This nigga is about to get locked up and thrown in jail, which we know that whole situation is being used and, by these elites to get the desired result. But ultimately, nobody's coming here to save America. This place is condemned. Like the scriptures, just like I just read, it says, forsake her, man. Come up out of this place. Well, I didn't read that verse. It was a verse up, but you got to forsake Babylon, the great America, and understand that this place is finished. Prophetically, it is written for this place to completely fall and to never rise up again and to be literally burnt with fire. So your best approach and your best investment is in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the kingdom to come, and looking past America and keeping it in your rearview mirror, and don't look back. All right. You don't want to end up being like Lot's wife, looking back here at America, and you'll find yourself trying to save your life, over here trying to vote, over here trying to do everything in your power to scratch and scrape to try to, prop up this society and this system that is totally headed to its collapse. All right. It says a restaurant apocalypse is starting to sweep across America. And this is really bad news for the U.S. economy. See? Because, a lot of these economists, they know this place is finished. I didn't watch the video, but I saw like a thumbnail of a video where it was like this Edomite dude was saying that basically America is destined to collapse. All right. You can't, like I said, it's like a sinking ship, and it's already taken on a whole lot of water. And, you got Jake with buckets trying to, pick up water and try to dump the water from keeping it from being completely submerged with water. But it's nothing that you can do. It's taking on too much water already, which is financial debt that can never be paid back, that can never be fixed. Okay, so just let this motherfucker sink, man. And you need to get on the good ship Yahushua, via the chariots and do what you got to do to be delivered and saved from this situation. All right. It says you can get a really good idea how the U.S. economy is doing by watching restaurants in your area. When the economy is booming, restaurant parking lots are full and chains are feverishly establishing new locations. But when the economy is struggling, restaurants get a lot less traffic and poor performing locations get shut down. And you notice that too. I don't really eat out that much, but when you do go to these different restaurants, the food used to be a lot better. The service and the quality of the food and the service was a lot better. But now, hey, the service sucks. The food sucks. You go back to restaurants that you used to frequent and that were good, and you go back to them now, shit, if they're still open, hey, the quality of it has just gone down dramatically. You get smaller portions, the staff is less friendly, it takes, the service and the service and the quality of everything is just horrible, man, to where you don't even want to go back to the place anymore, because it's all the signs of the devastating, of the devastating situation that they're in, and you can tell a lot, how good a restaurant's doing is by the quality. Even the workers that work there, they're not happy. They're not getting paid enough. They're probably working less hours or more hours than they really, whatever the situation might be, and you can feel that when you're in these places, because, hey, like I said, this place is failing on all levels and in all sectors. It says, but when the economy is struggling, restaurants get a lot less traffic and poor performing locations get shut down. Sadly, in 2024, it appears that a restaurant apocalypse has started to sweep across America. Most people have very little discretionary income to spend as the result of our cost of living crisis, and that is particularly true for our young adults. Americans under the age of 40 love to eat out, but these days most of them are experiencing financial stress, and this is having an enormous impact on the restaurant industry. Right. And even if you are kind of strapped for cash, even if you do have a little bit of money to go to the restaurants, it's like the food and the shit is so expensive. You like, goddamn, I don't want to even, I do have a little bit of money to buy this shit, but it's so expensive. I'm better off just going to the grocery store and, buying something cheaper and making that last longer and stretching longer than going and spending this over $100 for the same meal that I used to spend probably $60, $50 for. You see? So it's just hard everywhere. And it's hard for these restaurants because they're not getting the same business that they used to get. And plus, a lot of these restaurants are failing because they, things are getting more expensive for them to, to keep the restaurant running. Now they raised the minimum wage up higher. So they got to pay their workers more, getting a lot of the food and and the necessities they need to keep the restaurant going, those things are getting more expensive. The beef, the chicken is more expensive. Having to do repairs, having to pay payroll, having to cover all these things are getting more expensive for the restaurants to run, and therefore they have to increase prices. They got to charge more money, which has an effect because the more expensive, the less people are going to frequent the shit, which is going to cause them to close down and to just shut down because it's just getting too expensive for them to even have these restaurants. So it's a ripple effect, man. It says in 2023, visit to sit-down restaurants dropped by about 5%. It says Americans are eating out less as inflation weakens the dollar in their pocket, which is leading to some harsh consequences for restaurants across the country. And I noticed that because I used to go to Wingstop, back in the day, but I noticed like the last time I went, the fucking meals, bro, literally like maybe, I don't know, however long ago I went, I remember the combo meal being like $10, $11 for a 10-piece combo. You get 10 wings, fries, and a drink. It used to be like $10, $11. That shit is like $19.99 now, man. You see? Because what? Because it's not that the chicken is more expensive. It's a higher quality. It's just the dollar is getting so weak. It's costing more for you to get what you really want. And like I said, and it's costing these restaurants more money. Remember, they had the chicken shortage, so to speak. So now it's costing more money for them to get the chicken. So they have to up their prices, which is causing their prices to go up. And that's damn near a 50% increase from, $10 for a $10 combo to $19, man. So people are like, fuck that. It's not even worth it, man. And imagine if it's you, your wife, and you got a couple of kids and they all want 10-piece combos. That's damn near $65, $70 just for just to eat out at some damn chicken wings, man. You see, and it's like that everywhere. It's crazy. You see, and this is why, our people need to wake up to the fact that, look, this place is through. Now, of course, you got to work. You got to do what you got to do, man. But, hey, the thrill is gone, the good times of eating out and going out to the restaurant with the whole family. It's too expensive now. Most people can't even afford that shit. You got a lot of people who are choosing between buying food and groceries or paying particular bills. You got a lot of people who cars are getting ready to be repoed because they can't afford their car payments. I saw an article where it's this one lady, she got a master's degree, all type of degrees and shit, a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, a PhD, and her ass is working 2 jobs. And she's like a university teacher. She's working like 2 jobs, and she can't even fucking make it. And she makes over $100 something thousand a year. And even she's struggling. So imagine how much more, people on the lower social economic status, man. Everybody is out here struggling. This economy and this system is beating everybody down. And on top of that, you got the Biden administration bringing in hundreds of thousands of migrants and rolling out the red carpet for them, giving them free sex changes, Medicare, free money, $10,000 a month on debit cards. And they're living in luxurious hotels, buying cars, getting food stamps and all type of goodies, while the average American citizen is paying taxes on all this shit and still getting the shaft. See, like we've been telling you, hey, this place is through, man. You need to be looking towards the kingdom of heaven. And if you have any 10-year plan or any goals or any hoping of, having some type of longevity and success here in America, man, you just lost in the sauce and you're blinded. And most likely you're going to take the micro C-hip when they bring that shit, It says visit to sit-down restaurants were down nearly 5% in 23 from the year prior. So this is a trend that has stretched on for over a year. People just aren't eating out as much as they once did. And as a result, we are seeing a wave of closures all over the country. Even in the Big Apple, large numbers of restaurants are being shut down. It says even in big metropolitan areas in the U.S. known for their great dining spots are struggling to maintain an environment where it is profitable to run a restaurant. Eater New York reported that over 40 bars and restaurants closed in New York City from December 23 to January 24, with some of the owners saying business simply never picked up after the one-niner in 2020. See? Look at this. After closing 46 restaurants last year, Applebee's has decided to close another 35 locations. And Applebee's was one of those affordable restaurants, They would have the 2 for $20. They would have the $10 deals to where if you did have a big family, y'all can just go there and order about 2 or 3 of those, spend about $30, $45, leave about a $15 tip, $20 tip, and you can feed you and your whole family, man. But now even they're going out of business, man. See? It says Applebee's is close to another 35 further locations this year. Close another 35 further locations this year after shutting 46 in 2023. The restaurant chain has shut at least 3 locations so far this year and has plans to close even more. You see, closing a restaurant was an incredibly difficult decision and a last resort for the company, you see? And you see all those Dollar Generals or the 99-cent store, whichever ones they are, they're closing all of those down. Even they can't stay in business. You see? And this is just a trend that's happening in America because, hey, it's more than just a trend. It's the signs of the times, man. You know, this place is circling the drain. Look, Boston Market, they had 1,000 locations. Now they're closing down all their shit and filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. You see, it says our ongoing inflation crisis is the primary reason why this is happening. You see, a lot of these, the financial crisis. All right. What is it? It's another part I want to. Yeah, here we go. Meanwhile, restaurants are facing much higher costs. Jessica Dunker, president and CEO of the Iowa Restaurant Association, said the reason restaurants are shuttering is because the cost of goods is up 30% and they are having to shell out higher wages to keep staff on. And unfortunately, things aren't going to get any better anytime soon, you see? You see? And that's because what? This dollar is being destroyed. The inflation, you know? The inflation and all that stuff, you know. I just had that precept in my mind. Oh yeah, let's get this, man. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And how long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. And that's what America is doing. That's what the powers that be are doing. That's what all this spending and this, out of control spending that the government is doing is causing what? Is causing more inflation. They're creating more and more debt. They're creating more and more dollars to where, the demand, to where, they're printing so much money that the money is becoming worthless. It's costing more and more money for you to buy everyday average goods. So like I said, it's not the fact that the things that you're buying are getting more expensive. It's because it's costing you more dollars to buy that product, man. And it's all because of the debts, the heavy debt that this government has has America in. And that's what that word thick clay represents, which we bring this out all the time. And when you go to that word for thick clay, the word is ibatyat. It says heavy debts. You see? And this is what this government is ultimately, all the money they're spending, all of this money printing, all these billions of dollars they're giving to Ukraine, all of this money they're spending to house these migrants and give them this lavish lifestyle, all of this debt that Babylon the Great is taking on. And then you got a lot of these other countries dumping the dollar. They're not buying the debt anymore. It's causing more and more inflation, which is causing what? Things to be more expensive. All right. And that your buying power is dwindling every day, man. You see, to where this is why people can't go out and buy and go out and eat out every day like they used to, man, because the dollar is completely going under. It says, we have reached a point where the vast majority of Americans just can't afford to eat out on a regular basis. Shit, most people can't even afford to buy groceries. Like I said, a lot of people can't even afford to pay their bills. A lot of people are deciding to put food on the table rather than pay their car insurance or pay the light bill, pay the water bill, or pay their car note or registration. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of nice cars lately to where, people haven't paid their registration, so they'll just take off the license plates and driving around with no plates, because it shows, here in California, I don't know in the other state, but it shows you the month that your registration and your tag should be changed. And I see a lot of newer cars, where the license plate all of a sudden is gone. Or I'll see people with old ass cars and they'll have one of those fake paper plates on the back of their car as if they just brought that shit from the dealer and they plates ain't came yet. In an old ass car, beat the hell down with a goddamn paper plate, acting like you just brought that car from the dealership. No, it's because they haven't paid their registration and they're riding dirty because, most likely they can't afford to pay the goddamn the registration because times are just that hard. You see, and remember, it's supposed to be all of these evictions. Remember, a lot of people they was getting those during the lockdown. People was getting those. I forgot what you call it. That though, they was getting the, they didn't have to pay their rent because of the lockdown, and people wasn't really working, so they gave them that little grace periods where they didn't have to pay their rent. And people got all that money, those PPP loans. Jake was getting all of those stimulus checks, and they was just using it to just go and splurge and do stupid shit and not pay their bills off, to where they were able to live rent free for a while. But then eventually, hey, that shit ran out. And then it ended up coming time for them to have to pay all that money that they weren't paying. Then it was getting eviction notices, man. You see? So it says, needless to say, this is just really bad news for fast food chains like McDonald's. At one time, serving middle-class families was their core business. But now most middle-class families just can't afford to eat at McDonald's very often. And despite an attempt to lure them back, McDonald's will soon introduce a $5 meal. And they said that $5 meal is only going to be a temporary. So really, it ain't even really, you might as well not even do it. You see? Let's get down to the point, man. It says, what is this? Here we go. It says consumers are really hurting right now. In fact, consumer sentiment just fell to the lowest level in 6 months. Consumer sentiment plunged to the lowest level in 6 months as price increases re-accelerated, according to the latest University of Michigan, blah, blah, blah. It says, additionally, consumers are bracing for even higher price increases in the year ahead compared to the readings from prior months. It says the Biden administration plunged 13% from April 77, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. It says, as I has discussed previously, the American people are deeply pessimistic about the economy, and they have good reason to be pessimistic, because even though our politicians in Washington are engaging in an unprecedented spending spree in a desperate attempt to keep the economy propped up, the truth is that the wheels are starting to come off and tremendous chaos is ahead, right? Because they know something worse than the Great Depression is coming here in Babylon the Great pretty soon. And all of this money, all of this spending by the government is not helping. It's making things worse. And eventually that bubble is going to pop, and people are going to be out, and people are going to lose everything, man. It says Ed Dowd agreed that big trouble is coming during the months ahead. He just told Greg Hunter that he expects the U.S. economy to take a nosedive sometime in the next 12 months. You see, the only thing that has been holding up the GDP growth is government spending. We are spending $1 trillion every 100 days. That's adding $1 trillion to the deficit. The only job creation is government jobs, and they don't actually add to the economy. Reports are coming out now that the low-income consumer is getting absolutely hammered. McDonald's talked about it in their most recent earning call. So low income and the middle class are getting squeezed while the rich continue to plug along, you see? And that's just going to continue to happen, man, until eventually this whole system is going to fall and collapse, man. And those of our people that trust in this place, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, man. All right? Because this place is through. You know? It's in Isaiah. Where is it? Let me get this. I think that's 36. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 36, verse 6, it says, Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. And remember, America is known spiritually as Egypt. It says, whereupon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. And that's talking about America, man. This place is like a broken reed. As soon as you lean upon this place, you're going to fall right along with this place. And that's what's going to happen to the majority of our people that's trusting in this system, trusting in Esau, trusting in the government, trusting in your SNAP benefits, trusting in this almighty dollar, trusting, in your job, trusting in OnlyFans, trusting in, Trump getting back into office and making America great again. Either way you slice it, this place is going to fall. And if you're leaning upon it and you're trusting in it, you're just going to go down and be ashamed with the fall of this place, man. All right. And this is why we're telling our people, man, to do this, man. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's, you should have been in that spirit as far as dealing with America, man. You should have been not having pleasure in this place. Now, that's saying that, you don't have fun. You may not go to the movies or, do particular things that bring you some type of enjoyment or fun. But I'm just saying as trusting in this place to the point to where you feel it's never gonna go down. It's always gonna be time to party and BS and do this and do all these things that this this place provides you. You should be in the spirit of knowing that this is not our rest, and the days of this place are numbered, and you should be getting yourself right with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and really looking forward to the kingdom of heaven, where you can have rest from your labors and you can live, righteously, and we can enjoy all things that is promised unto us, not here in Babylon, the great America, man. All right. So you should have been out of that spirit of having pleasure and the partying and the bullshit and the chambering and the wantonness and, thinking that, this is just the greatest place to live, man. This place is through. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And what are the grinders? The jobs, man. You see what I was reading about this apocalypse of restaurants. You got to believe it's happening on every other sector, man. Not only restaurants, but retail places, the malls, man. Look at the malls. Malls are through. The mall over here where I live, that shit, there's all type of vacancies, all type of stores closed. You go to downtown Los Angeles, look at all the businesses and that's boarded up, and nobody's even occupying these business spaces. And I'm sure it's like that in every major downtown area. Things is dead. The grinders are ceasing. It's getting more and more dried up out here. And pretty soon, all the doors are going to be shut out here, and nothing's going to be moving or shaking, and it's going to be complete chaos and confusion, and no motion out here. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. Right. You see all these businesses closing up. See how it said you had 1,000 Boston Market locations. Now they're filing for bankruptcy. Applebee's is closing up a bunch of stores, 99-cent stores, Dollar Trees, other restaurants, are closing up shop, and it's happening all around the country because, this place is through. It's too expensive. They can't maintain that type of stuff anymore. It says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And these things are happening, man. Look at the type of music they're making right now. My Booty Hole Brown and all this weak, degenerate type of music that is being produced. Trap music, drill music, all this raunchy, disgusting music, man. Because everything in Babylon the Great is falling and it's deteriorating, and it's going to get more and more worse as the days go on, man. And this is why you, Jake, needs to really start getting your house in order and start forsaking this place, man. Of course, we all got to work. We got to do what we got to do, man. But you got to have it in your mind where the day is coming to where this place financially, morally, on every level is going to completely collapse, man. And all you're going to have to lean upon is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai if you're one of his. And if you're not, you're going to make some decisions to where you're going to try to save your life in this place. And it's going to come at the cost of you making a blood sacrifice and allowing that sea ragamuffin to get put in your right head or in your forehead in order for you to be able to buy or sell or have any type of, form of comfort in this soon doomed place known as Babylon the Great. So you got to make sure that you're in the right spirit and that your faith is totally in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because this place is going down, and it's going down fast, man. So, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.